Saya pakai laptop ni ya?
Apa dia?
Laptop Adam.
Ada.
Oh, pakai kau lain dah ni? Ni dah ni. Dah, okey.
Share ni. Dekat lampu Iium Center.
WhatsApp kau tak ada laptop ni esok?
Apa dia?
Laptop Adam.
Ada.
Oh, pakai kau lain dah ni? Ni dah ni. Dah, okey.
Share ni. Dekat lampu Iium Center.
WhatsApp kau tak ada laptop gambar?
Apa dia?
Laptop Adam. Saya pakai kau lain dah ni?
Sebelum kau tutup WhatsApp, aku tulis link malam ni.
Ni dah ni.
Dah. Tutup WhatsApp. Aku 8 GB ni.
WhatsApp kau tak ada laptop gambar? Laptop Adam. Saya pakai kau lain dah ni?
Sebelum kau tutup WhatsApp, aku tulis link.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So before we start, I would like to remind all audience about few things. So the first one is please silence your phone throughout the debate session. Second, please mind your manners during the program. If you want to chant, then please chant manually, and you are prohibited to chant while the candidate is speaking. Clear? Alright, thank you. So don't disturb the candidate while they are speaking. And the last one is there's some changes for our flow today. We will end our event at 10 p.m. due to a change of new rules and regulations. Hence, please be cooperative with us to make sure the event can be run smoothly. Alright? Okay. And the last one is Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We will begin our event now. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the Deputy President debate session for Ulangan. signature entrance can be roughly alright. Before that, I would like to invite Brother Amin to recite the dua before the blessing. Tafadhol, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the Deputy President debate session for tonight. Signature entrance can be roughly alright. Before that, I would like to invite Brother Amin to recite the dua before the blessing. Tafadhol, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the Deputy President debate session for tonight.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. يا الله يا رحيم. Praise be to God, the Lord of glory. Peace and blessing be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions and for those who follow his examples till the judgment day. Allahumma ya Allah. On this today's evening, in conjunction with the IMSU Deputy President One debate, we be thirsty and grateful towards you in favor of all the benefit blessing to us, your humble servant, and to lead in safe and prosperous life. We seek your blessings for a flawless progress of the event from the beginning to the end. We seek your guidance to stay clear of events that will detrimental the progress of this event. Ya Latif Ya Rahman, please bless us with your Tawfiq Hidayah to establish Islam and state nation to greatness, peace, glory, and prosperity in Islam and the hereafter. Make us a responsible individual. Grant us with a valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind in order to attain your Mahmudillah. Make us your righteous servant and follow your commands and make the blessings to manage. Please forgive us for our wrongdoing. Ya Munzil al-Barakah. Bestow peace to our biggest country, Malaysia. Preserve us from any tree and disaster. Neither will make no natural disaster. Until you are Allah. We ask for security and prosperity upon us, our leaders, and our country. Bestow patience in us in order to face the challenges for me. Please accept our deeds and please reward us accordingly. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي
Amin,
الآخرة
amin, ya Rabbal
حسنة
Alamin. Thank you
وقنا
very much.
عذاب النار.
Now,
وصلى الله
I would
على
like to
سيدنا
invite the
محمد
moderator
وعلى آله
alongside with the
وصحبه
candidates to be on the stage to start our debate session. Please welcome. Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite the moderator alongside with the candidates to be on the stage to start our debate session. Please welcome. I would like to invite the moderator alongside with the candidates to be on the stage to
السلام
start our
عليكم
debate
ورحمة
session.
الله
Please welcome.
وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
I would like to invite the
في
moderator
كتب
alongside
فؤاد.
with the candidates to be on the stage to
السلام
start our
عليكم
debate
ورحمة
session.
الله
Please welcome.
وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. في كتب فؤاد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. في الفؤاد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. في الفؤاد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alright, mashallah, we'll continue with our session. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa man wala. First of all, it's an honor for me to be given this position to lead our Deputy President One debate. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the candidates running for Iium Student Union Deputy President One. On my right, we have Brother Iman Razik bin Tasli from Kuliah Science Engineering, candidate number 001. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the candidates running for Iium Student Union Deputy President One. On my left, we have Brother Muhammad Amal Hafiz, Brother Iman Razik Kuliah of Economics and Management from Kuliah Science, candidate number 002. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the candidates running for Iium Student Union Deputy President One. On my left, we have Brother Muhammad Amal Hafiz. Right. As before, I pass the floor to respective candidates who would like to set out the format and rules and regulations for our debate today. There will be 4 rounds for each candidate. For the first round, both candidates will be allocated each 10 minutes for your manifesto presentation. For the second round, each candidate will ask questions each from the moderator, and you'll be allocated 3 minutes to answer each question. For the third round, both of the candidates will be on the stage for both candidates to ask questions to each other. For the second round, questions each. And finally, for the fourth round, it will be opening the floor to Q&A session from the audience. Each not participate, no provocation, and for the presentation or any bench series on the stage. Therefore, let's move on to our debate now. Are you ready, everyone? Are you ready? Alright, so without further ado, I would like to invite Brother Iman, candidate 001, to present his message in 10 minutes. Therefore, let's move on to our debate now. Are you ready, everyone? Are you ready? Alright, so without further ado, I would like to invite Brother Iman, candidate 001, to present his
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Therefore, let's move on to our debate now.
Dear brothers and sisters, my name is Iman, and before I go on to my manifesto, I would like to share a bit. So, having served 2 years with the union from the staff member as an officer from the office of welfare, I'm confident enough to say that I will get out of this campus, of this union, and the fundamentals of the student union and how it should be run. Should I be elected, it will be more serve of a continuation of what I've been doing for the past 2 years. So here's my vision for this union. I argue as you go back locality, it should be at the forefront of student affairs union. It should champion students' rights. And it should be the glue that holds together all students regardless of background. This totality should be a symbol of strength and unity. And so this should be not experienced as a union. Gombak will be fearless, efficient, and able to respond to any issues swiftly. For my tenure, should I be elected, be diplomatic, maybe different, but ready to put up a fight when elected. Yes, our agenda is not just about fighting or protesting, but that is what students are able to do. That is what our weapon is. That is our tool to demand the best for students. And we will use it defeated. It is the voice of the unheard. So I will move on to my forecast testing. That is what students are able to do. That is what our weapon is. As you may know, I have 2 offers. First, being restoring the democratic and inclusive union. As you may know, Iium student union is facing challenges, including perceived exclusivity, seeing it as an exclusive club, the lack of trust from students at the university, declining participation, inadequate representation of inside, and the exclusion of these statements. And this is due to an aggressive mindset between student bodies, between UNSC, MRC, and KBS. So my solution is that we have to ensure transparency and accountability. I make them SU participate in publishing updates and updates of monthly locality meetings and conducting live slides and physical reports. Additionally, we will establish a speakers corner and one input. My solution is that for open discourse, the union will release statements for all student members and take responsibility for all decisions. And we have to prioritize comprehensive decision making that includes all students. I also aim to solidify the position, the roles, and responsibilities of all student bodies. We emphasize the union to be a safe atmosphere for students to speak. They will play a huge role as they are a key stakeholder of the union. I also aim to solidify the position that representatives from FRCC and KPSC will be appointed as non-executive officers of the union. This is possible due to the amendment of IOSU Constitution. We will prioritize the unity and I pledge to unite all students regardless of bodies and decide on selective actions to address any concerns. It is also my responsibility as your teacher delegate, having the experience as a welfare officer. I will ensure that the IIUM Student Union Human Resources Policy will be empowered and will be updated. Additionally, efforts will be made to enhance the workday application for all teacher members, and I would like to introduce a mental health leave for all members of the union. Human Resources Policy will be empowered and will be further updated. All officers and staff members will be given opportunities to develop self-chartered skills and skill development while prioritize the welfare members of the union. The union will also encourage active engagement of all students within further union matters through union advocacy efforts. Moving on, my second offer is that the practical approach towards welfare. Being a welfare officer myself right now, I am also an effective. So welfare is something very close to me. So the main issue that I have seen is that we focus too much on short-term solutions instead of long-term and comprehensive, meaning act as a lot. And as you can see, we have a lot of issues that have been repeated from the past cases and the past decades, and we still face those same issues. So moving forward, I am focused too much on short-term solutions, engage with all student bodies, and sit down and discuss what are the things that we can do to solve these issues effectively without having to deal with these issues again and again. So we have to sit down together and all decisions will be made in the best interest of students, no matter how the measures will be at. The students will come first and we will fight for the best interest of students no matter what. Without having to deal with these issues again and again. So we have to sit down, fight for the solution also will be made the best for infrastructure and also sustainable development. So as to come and respond to motions that were passed in the IIM student parliament recently. So the plan is that we will conduct thorough audits for the infrastructure on Bobak campus, and this will be done with all external auditors and such. And we will make sure that the university will answer to our demands. This is not a simple matter. It's a life and death situation. Gopa is dropping. Its infrastructure will be done and it's dying. More initiatives that I would like to make sure is the Walk Up Umbrella project as it is part of the Greedy Gopa campus. This is more on sustainable living. How are we going to walk around campus and depend on green options? So we would like more initiatives safer and more conducive for students to walk beside the Greedy Gopa campus. This is more on sustainable living while prioritizing the needs and walk around campus and depend on number three, an entrepreneurship-centric student development. So today, student entrepreneurs are often seen for students who are not given much opportunities. This improves their talent or try to improve their skills. So what I aim as deputy president is that I would like to support the student entrepreneurs and student businesses. We are going to give them the opportunity, the platform, the training, the modules for them to showcase their talent. And this includes establishing a student union marketplace where students can do their business, where students can grow their entrepreneurs and student businesses. And it could generate additional income for both the students and also for the union. We will prioritize the financial sustainability of the union while working with students with KPIs and MRC where MRCs have a lot of marketplaces according to their mahalas. So why not? We sit together, we do this together, we do it on a larger scale, and we're going to achieve more. We will prioritize the financial sustainability of the union. So that is my manifesto with KPIs and MRC where MRCs have a lot of marketplaces according to their mahalas. So why not? We sit together, we do this together, we do it on a larger scale, and we're going
Alright,
to
thank
achieve
you
more.
very much
We
for
will
this
prioritize the
manifesto
of
presentation.
the union.
Can you use of
So
those with
that is my
10
manifesto
manifesto
with KPIs
manifesto
and
has been
MRC where
submitted by
MRCs
Steve.
have a lot of
So next, I would like
according
to
to their mahalas.
invite
So why not?
Brother
We sit
Amam,
together, we do this
candidate
together, we do it on a larger
to
scale,
represent
and
his
we're going to
mentions.
achieve more. We will
Has
prioritize the
participated, the floor is yours.
of
Can you use of
so
those with
that is my
10
manifesto
manifesto
with KPIs
manifesto
and
has been
MRC where
submitted by Steve. So next, I would like to invite Brother Amam, candidate to represent his mentions.
Assalamu
Has
alaikum
participated,
warahmatullahi
the floor is
wabarakatuh.
yours. Can you use of those with
that is my
10
Brothers
manifesto
and
manifesto
with
sisters,
KPIs
manifesto has been
I
submitted
want to
by
share
So
a big
next, I would
secret.
like to invite
In 2 years,
Brother Amam, candidate
I understood
to
that
represent
a
his
lot of
mentions.
problems of
Has
students
participated, the
lie
floor
for
is
education.
yours.
The inequality, the facilities, the class problems, and even the toilets and the voice of my students. All these problems are very concerning to the IIUM. But it seems as if no one is able to voice up to the supervisor. So that's why I'm standing here challenging myself to step up as the one who will bring the student voice to the supervisor. With my expression, no one should be left behind. I'm Hafiti, presenting to you guys my first manifesto, integrated inclusive communication platform. Brothers and sisters, now we are living in IIM community. I always experience a lot of problems from the students. Either in social media, Facebook IIM online, or post retweet, X, or even we can call it as tool hack via IIM access confession. However, is confessing this really what the student need? Honestly, I would say no. A mere confession and complaints is never enough. What we need is we need action, we need efforts, we need courage, and we need determination. Until my turn, I would say with every concern, every problem raised by the students, I will ensure that students just need to use the hashtag Student Union for each complaint that raised by the students. Social media make it the platform. And I, as the candidate of the deputy president, as long as it's under my jurisdiction and my supervision, I will ensure that all problems, all concerns are met the student for each complaint that raised by the student. So, what is my suggestion? I propose an integrated inclusive communication platform, one-stop shop for communication between you and your student union. This platform will be accessible for everyone, both online and offline. So, what is my suggestion? Imagine confidential hotlines, dedicated voice-to-voice calls in high-traffic areas, a convenient online form between you and your student. It is central hub. Here's the best part. My approach for the problem solving is highly organized and systematic. Whenever issues comes up, my team will have a dedicated task force ready to take action. This task will be comprised of three specialized units. The first one is data unit, second one is the research unit, and the third one is the update unit. This is what I call an integrated inclusive communication platform. My every concern you have come to will be addressed, and I, as the candidate of Deputy President, will ensure that to hold this responsibility on me. My second manifesto, nurturing a transparent union. We all believe in a transparent union. However, I strongly believe that all IIM student officers give their duty with faith. We could not deny that there are some students that their concerns, their problems are not addressed properly by the Office of Student Union. We all believe in a transparent union. If we want to uphold the spirit of unionism, I understand that these problems should be addressed properly. So, what is my version? As the duty of transport union, I will establish a system like an ombudsman complaint method in my governance, specifically for the officers under my supervision, which are the combat officers. It will be a dedicated space for commenting, reporting, provide unique facts, or even give a constructive criticism of officers' actions. Now, we all understand that IIM is supposed to be being a middleman between the students and the administration for commenting, reporting, and IIMSU is supposed to be the one to defend the officers' actions. That is the general rule. We all understand that IIM is supposed to be being a middleman. However, to cater the issue where the students felt that their concerns are not addressed properly by the officer of student union, or where the student can't see efforts that have been shown by the office of student union. Here's my suggestion on ombudsman complaint system for the student union to come into picture. How is this to be handled? I, as the deputy of I, as the deputy of I, as the deputy of student union, will act as the ombudsman for these matters. Here's my suggestion on ombudsman complaint system for the student can always come to me, raise their dissatisfaction, raise their dissatisfaction, lay their concerns in our plate, and after that, I will do the necessary steps to ensure the function of the student union perform wisely. This is not a trick for our officers. Can always come to me. This is the chance for us, a step for us to nurture a transparent union. This is a step for us to ensure that show to the students that students' unions are reliable. And this is the step for us to show that the Bomba officers specifically are progressive. And I, as a student union, as a deputy student president of the student union, understand that the responsibility to hold this transparency is on me. And this is my third manifesto is utilizing the networks and communications between administration and government. IIUMS, as the highest standing body in the IIM, holds the power and influence. A strong relationship between student leaders and the government or even the administration will unlock a significant benefit for the students. However, strained communication between the student and the student leaders or administration could impede the transmission of student consideration, and it would create a barrier of it would create it would create a barrier for effective advocacy. Brothers and sisters, previously, we didn't say that. We didn't say that the relationship between the IIM student union with the MRCC or KPSC were bad. No, I didn't mean that. However, there is something that we can improve from the past election. Brothers and sisters, as we all know that to have a good, strong and solid society, we must strengthen the relationship between all the entities, right? And so, however, as Deputy President of Student Union, I will ensure that we are able to give a stable and stronger approach to help students, even though we are different as entities. But I, I bet that we hold the same direction, which is to help the student union as long as we can, as possible as we are able to give a stable and stronger approach to help students, even though we are different as supposed to be done. But I will ensure I bet that the relationship between MRC and KBSC was strengthened by having meetings with them regularly, discussing the problems regarding students, hear their concern of MRCC, KBSC about students of their respective Mahalang or Korea, and relationship between MRCC will help us was strengthened by having meetings or matters them regularly, discussing the problems and working with KBSC become great approach to closing of the MRCC. Instead of having good communication via Iium and this relationship, I will ensure that the collaboration with the government agencies or the other agencies will take place after. With the collaboration with other agencies, we will create more funds for us to generate the program, to organize the program under the student union. And we could channel more sources for students that in need. And we cannot deny that by having collaboration with them, we will have the extension of skills and extension of ideas. And just with this, we could be more efficiency and maximize the effectiveness of programs that have been organized by us. And lastly, remember that the union power nurtures potential, fostering success, and we are the future of our union. That's all. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Brother Ahmad, for his manifesto presentation. Before we moving on to the second session, please give both our candidates a round of applause. Alright, for your information, they are both second year students, and I'm feeling old here as a third year student. They are running for deputy presidency. I'm only on my seat in the back. Okay, so we'll be moving on to the second session. Are you ready? All right. So before that, I would like to remind the supporters that for the chanting to be made only between the speech of the speech and uh, not during the speech, as it will drag our time tonight. All right. So for the second session, will be asked three questions each from me. So you will have 1 minute to think about the answer, to structure your answer, and 3 minutes to answer the question. So the first question we pose to Brother Iman. Given your prior position as the officer for Office of Welfare IUM Student Union, how can you guarantee with your presence in the union, but now running for a high seat, which is Deputy President 1 seat, how can you guarantee with your presence in the union will make a difference? 1 minute to think what else.
When I say Deputy, you say Iman. You say Iman. You say Iman. Iman for Deputy.
All right, 3 minutes.
So, answering the question from the moderator, how my presence will guarantee a difference in the union. For your information, I have been officer for 1 year. We've done a lot and we've achieved a lot. If you can follow my social media, the things that I've done, the things that have brought real change to this campus. For one example, I would say is the dog issue, the wild dogs issue, which I have personally handled the issue. It started around December, where I was first contacted by sisters from Mahala Hanima, Mahala Asma. I went there with Osem. We went through the, the backsides of the Mahala where we observed the fencings and whatnot. We discussed with Osem. They agreed to install barbed wires. I contacted the KPT officer from the government, from the Ministry of Higher Education, which he then came himself to campus. He checked on those wall dogs. He checked on the fencings that needed to repair. To the point the minister himself responded to this issue. How can you not um, how can you not label that as a difference to this campus? We are doing something that has been an issue for years on this campus. As a welfare officer, for 1 year, I know the ins and outs of this campus. I've met with numerous officers of from the management. I've met OSEM, I've met STAT, I've met CCSE. I've built bridges. We've been diplomatic, but at times we've been demanding them. We've been demanding them a lot. As I said, if I was elected as deputy, it is more of a continuation of what I've been doing. There, there will be a lot more things that I will do in my position and in my capacity as a future deputy president. There's a lot of things that I will continue, and some of them, infrastructure issues around campus. These are the motions that we have raised during the IIUM Parliament. These are the things that we will continue. Besides infrastructure, it could be mental health. We have plans for the advancement of mental health for students. Some of them include a mental health insurance. It could be the IIUM Sejahteraan profiling where we'll extend those things. So my presence, I would say, you can just look at my track record, the things that I've done, the free brekkie, the cat abuse issues, the wild dog issues, the Wi-Fi issues, many more. We've done a lot. I've done a lot personally. And we will continue to strive for more. This campus, this Gombak campus, will be my priority. Right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you very much for the answer. All right, next we'll be moving on to Brother Amma. My question is, given your involvement in the university level and past school leadership experience, how can you convince IIM students on your capability and the direction that you want to implement at the Kumbak campus for proactive changes? 1 minute to think for the answer.
That's answering the question given by the moderator. Those experience in the degree level or the past high school level, those experience really teach me how is to handle a program, how is to handle a big numbers of students, and how each teach me on how to become a great leader. Those struggle situations that have been faces through my years back then, it gives me a thought that if I able to do this thing before, why not I come to here to take this responsibility? Because if I was a student, ordinary student, they always complain, but didn't have any action taken by myself. So that will be useless. That's why I running for this position because I want to make a change. I want to make a change in the union, and I want to give a better solution for the students. So I'm not sure that with my participation and my experiences in the leadership field, this Gombak locality will not be the Gombak locality will be more great under mentioning. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brother Amang, for the answer for the first question. We'll be moving on to the second question to Brother Iman. Quoting your second manifesto, restoring a democratic and inclusive union. In your opinion, the first, right? In your opinion, what are the relevant parameters to measure success in bridging the IIM student union gap between students?
Yeah. So answering the question for the moderator, basically. So what determines the success of raising the relationship between students and student union? It's simple. It's how we can solve the issues that we have in this campus. It's how we can get a collective outcome. It's how we can sit down. It's how all students, regardless of your society, regardless of your club, regardless if you're from KBSC or MRCC, it's how we can sit down, we can discuss on an issue that is facing the residents of Gombak campus and how we can go on and fight and tackle those issues collectively together. It's how we can bring up one voice, one outcome, a collective effort. The success is based because right now, for your information, we are quite, I would say, not that collective. Part of my manifesto, part of my offer is that we would like to see a more collective and more cohesive union. A union that is not just based on the members of the union itself, but also taking into account other students, all students. This union is ours. This union is for all. It is not just for the members of SU. It is not an elite club. To measure success, we will see how this upcoming tenure, if I would be elected as the deputy president one for Gombak, we will see how we will tackle any kind of issues, be it welfare, be it any student affair issues. We will go on and attack those issues together as one, collectively. This union is stronger united. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brother Iman, for the answer for the second question. We'll be moving on to Brother Amang for his second question. Based on your observation, what is your current priority for Gombak campus students? And how do you plan to continue the current IUM Student Union Office efforts in your tenure if you are elected? 1 minute. Okay, I will repeat the question. Based on your observations, what is your current priority for Gombak campus students? And how do you plan to continue the current IUM Student Union Office efforts in your tenure if you are elected?
So, to answering the question given by moderator, based on my observation, what is my current priority? I have mentioned in my manifesto, first before I state my first manifesto, that my aspiration running in this election is no one should be left behind. And again, I state that my current priority is that I want that the students, no matter they are local or international or everyone, they should not be left behind. That is my current priority. As a student union, We supposedly raise their concern. We're supposedly being the middleman for the students. We supposedly defense them. And that is my current priority. I really want to raise the student voice. And how to current the previous tenure, I acknowledge their efforts. They have given they have given to us lot of efforts throughout their tenure, and I will ensure that if I'm being elected as the deputy president, the Gombak officer specifically will be more bright, will be more success under my tenure. That's my answer.
All right, thank you, Brother Amar, for the answer for the second question. I think before we move on to the third question, you may bring your answer first again. All right. So, for the time being, we would like to get a chance from the audience. Okay. I would like to hear from my right side first. Please, your chance.
When I say Deputy, you say Iman. 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 Iman for Deputy. Iman for Deputy. Allahu Akbar.
All right. Okay, from my left side, please. All right, thank you for the chance. Give a round of applause for everyone here. All right. So, we're moving on to our debate for the clash of ideas. Okay, moving on to the last question for the session for each candidate. Right, I will pose a question to Brother Iman. We have talked previously on how we focus too much on the short-term solution and not the long-term solution. So my question is, how do you see your own kind of approach to cater the Gombak campus issues? What do you-
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. To answer the more of this question, how I would see my approach um, to get the long-term solutions. As I've mentioned earlier, short-term solutions don't actually work. They are repetitive and they don't actually solve the real issues that we face. As an officer, currently, I've been working closely with the current deputy president. We've been going through all kind of issues that we face on this campus. And the things we've done is that we are looking forward for more long-term planning. And this is evident by the motions that we have raised during the IIUM Parliament, which have passed, by the way. My approach is that we go and attack the root causes of all the issues. Let me ask you a question. Is it rational for you to go, okay, if you are sister and you are at your mahala and there has been dog issues, is it rational for you to complain to OSEM 10 times but the dogs still come in? No. So the things that I've done, and you can say it for yourself, is we go straight to the root cause, which is the fencings. And that is a long-term planning. We have more long-term plannings in mind for information. And that is all due to the effort of the current tenure. We have more plannings in terms of, I would say, the curfew issues, 24/7, 24 hours study place actually, which have also passed during the parliament, infrastructure, mobility, and uh, accessible infrastructure mainly. So my plan or my vision is that, as I said, with a collective effort and the efforts of all student bodies together, we will discuss, we will go through all these issues and plan out how can we actually solve these issues instead of just going one by one, complaining to OSEN, complaining to UIA officers, which usually has no result whatsoever. That is why this time, this tenure, this upcoming tenure, we will go through these issues and seek for long-term planning, which will actually change the future of this campus.
When
All
I
right,
say
thank you.
Deputy, you say Iman. Iman. Iman.
Thank you very much for the answer for the last question for this second session. And we'll be moving on to the last question for Brother Amma. Based on one of your manifesto, utilizing networks and communication with administration and government, do you feel that proper and respectful collaboration between RIM Student Union and the administration is the only basis to solve the problems that occur in our campus? Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In my opinion, it will not be we call cukup if we only rely on the IIM administration. That's why in my manifesto I say that we will utilize the networks between the governments and administrations, which means here we will diversify our solution. We will diversify our ways to cater the issues, to cater the problems that happens in our campus. That's the first way. Second, we cannot deny that administration give lots of benefits for us. They used to have a lot of initiative and also have lots of programs to assist the students. This kind of initiative or programs that are organized by the administration. Supposedly, we are the IRAB student union, supposedly being the middleman to channel the initiative, to channel the program that have been organized, been initiated by the administration to students. Because some students they didn't know the initiative that have been help that have been done by the administration. So this is where the function of student union to advocate the students about the programs that have been initiated by the administration. The third one is by collaboration with others, NGOs or a government agency, it could help us to solve the problems of our campus. For example, the facilities. This is one of by having meet and greet session in my campaign journey. I have a lot of suggestions from the students. One of the suggestions is that why not we have a collaboration with the IIM division? We go with crowdfunding or we go with sponsorship with the arts companies, and with that we will get funds to have a new and better facilities in our kuliah because some facilities in Korea is very good. So that is why we're looking forward to have a collaboration, good collaboration with other entities outside of the IIM, so that we could assess the problems, that we could address the problems of facilities for specific. So I would say that we do not rely 100% on the IIM to cater the issue, but we will diversify our solutions on how we should cater the problems. So that is my answer. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Brother Amma, for the answer for the last question that sums up our second session, which is the question for the moderator. So, a round of applause for both candidates for having completed two sessions for our tonight's debate. Alright, so we'll be moving on to the third session, which will be a back-to-back session with both candidates. So the rule is the question will be there will be three questions from each candidate to each other. So for this debate, Brother Ahmad will start with posing a question to Brother Iman, and the duration of the question must not be more than 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute for the question, straight to the point, and brother brother Iman will have 1 minute to think for your answer, or you want to answer spontaneously, and you have 3 minutes to answer brother Ahmad's question, and there will be three round of this thing, right? That's it. Okay, I think both of you can get ready at your own roster. Okay, both candidates are ready. Okay, I think without further ado, I will pass the floor to Brother Ahmad to pose question to Brother Iman.
So, Radiman, my first question to you. In your second manifesto, you mentioned about this support sustainability mobility options, something like mobility options. So, my question is, the compact campus might have limitations in terms of available space. How will you ensure that implementing new transportation for pedestrian safety initiatives doesn't negatively impact existing student facilities or green space? Okay. Uh, how will you ensure that by implementing new transportation or pedestrian safety initiative doesn't negatively impact existing student facilities or green space in our campus?
Okay, well, for your information, I'm the director for Great Command Campus for the student union. Um, I have personally been called up and met with development division, with Mr. Jatru, with OSET regarding the cycling lane project and so on. So, for your information, yes, as you can see, we've implemented, the university has implemented cycling lane project, right? And um, I would say none of this project would actually negatively impact pedestrians. Maybe it is not benefiting, but it's not negatively impacting. And in fact, it is actually helping those students who are cycling, students who are on scooters, students who use mobility devices, students who are on wheelchairs. They are actually these projects are benefiting the students in one way or another. You said something about space, right?
Green space. Yeah.
In my knowledge, none of the projects is impacting any of the green spaces in UAE. Alright. So, I have a question for Brother Amma. Brother Amma, for your first manifesto, for the first one, right? You said that whatever issues the students are facing, their voices are not being brought up, right? You said the voices are not being brought up. Are you disregarding the efforts done by this tenure, by my staff and by you? Are you aware that we have been relentlessly going on the ground, fighting for these issues, doing surveys, meeting students on these issues, going back and forth, going back and forth, seeing and meeting with UIA officers to bring up these issues? Are you disregarding those kind of efforts? So my question to you is, knowing that we have brought all those issues to UIA, I personally have brought all those issues to the management. So my question to you is, knowing this information, putting putting the communication or the voice up aside, what will you do in your position, in your capacity as deputy president, to actually solve those issues?
We have one. Okay, 4 minutes to think. I remind to the audience to not chant during his speech. It will be disturbing their time.
Alright. To answer your question, first thing, in my first manifesto, I see that there are some students felt that their concerns are not being raised. But here are some students I have been grounded with them for 4 times. First in Asia's Raya, 3 times in Jamaah Al and a lot of the students say that they can't see the effort. I didn't disregard the efforts by the previous tenure. I appreciate your previous tenure efforts, but this is the facts that the student give to me. I didn't say it, but the students say like this. Students say like that. So if I'm elected as a student union, deputy president of student union, what I will do is I will ensure the students will keep updated with every single progress about their problem that they have raised. As I mentioned before, this I will implement the task force. This task force will comprise of three specialized units. The first one is data unit, the second one is research, and the third one is update. This update unit will update every single progress of the problem that they have raised to us. And this kind of initiative will make sure that students will not left out, and they will sure they will feel that the student union officers did their job. We didn't disregard any of your team efforts before this. We really appreciate your efforts. That's all. Thank you.
Right. So we move on to the second round of this session. So Brother Market post question to Brother.
So, regarding your third manifesto about the entrepreneurship, the success of marketplace relies on the student participation. What is your concrete strategies will you implement to ensure enough students, businesses participate to make the marketplace attractive to customers? Because we can see we actually have the student loan, but it's in Surah. So why? So how you will, what your strategies to make sure the marketplace is sustained?
Right, thank you, Brother. So, yeah, to answer your question, why? Um, so, my plan for the entrepreneurship centric student development, how are we going to actually achieve that manifesto? Yes, there's student mall, and we've done many fests by other kuliahs and whatnot. But when I mention student development, it means that we are going to develop them, not just let them sell whatever they want to, but also to guide them. We're going to provide them a platform. We're going to provide them training. We're going to provide them modules. If you are well, you know we have EDC, right? The Entrepreneurship Development Center. We're going to approach them. We're going to talk to them. We're going to invite and collaborate with them and discuss on how we can actually help student entrepreneurs, student businesses, not just to sell their products, but to also provide them skills, the talents they need for their growth, so that they can go further and they can earn more income. So to answer your question, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Thank you.
Right. So Brother Market, pose your question, Brother.
Okay.
Waiting for the question.
Brother Alma, if I'm not mistaken, uh, you have not been in SU before. So I would like to ask you, how will you avoid spending more time as you have not been in the system of SU to learn more about the initiatives or projects that we have done? For example, the Green Global Campus, the contract with Note, she speaks. So these things require knowledge. All of these projects, the entire structure of SU itself requires a lot of time for you to capture, requires a lot of time for you to actually understand and learn how to operate. Because we are running for deputy presidency. We are not running as a staff member or, yeah, or as an officer. So my question is, how will you avoid wasting time or spending too much time to actually capture all of these knowledge on SU itself?
Okay. Brother.
Alright. To answer your question, Brother Iman, I acknowledge our tenure is only 1 year, 2 year or 5 years. For your information, before I ran in this position, I have a conversation with Brother Darwish Oslan, the ex-president of Iium Student Union, and also Brother Wan Haris, one of the established members of the student union, and also has had conversation with Brother Ashraf Hafi, ex-office of education of Iium Student Union. All of them has teach me what student union is about, and all of them has give me a basic or knowledge about how supposedly union generate. So another one fun fact for you guys to know, I'm a fast learner. So it's not being a problem for me to learn to know about what the project has been done by the last tenure. It's not being a problem for me to go the if you as you mentioned before you're the manager for the Go Green Combat campus, it's not being a problem for me to come and visit you and have a session with you on you explain to me what is the blah 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 about the Go Green campus. That is about I'm a fast learner. So it's nothing to be worried if I am elected as the deputy president without I'm having experience becoming the student union members. So that's my answer. Please don't be worried if I'm being elected as your deputy president because I will ensure you guys that the union will be better, inshallah.
All right, thank you for both candidates. I will invite you, for both of you to take your seat, to be seated. All right. Uh, yeah, because I've joined the event manager that will be cutting the third question as for the time constraint. And we will be moving on with the Q&A session with the audience. I invite both of our candidates to take a seat. Please give a round of applause our both candidates. All right. Okay. So we are here for our fourth session and our final session. There will be the Q&A session from the audience. Right. So there are two microphones provided at the left and right of the student of the hall. And yeah, I would like the question to be only 1 minute. Yeah. Avoid any unnecessary things and straightforward to the question. And yeah, it is better for the question to be posed to the both panelists, for example, Brother and then Brother Iman, Brother and Brother Iman, right? So I would like to invite one.
I'm Mohammed from Kuliah Education, and I have a question first for Brother Amar. Brother Amar, I acknowledge your very noble intention to envision Always Manifesto to be carried out in a tenure, but I believe that we all agree that in a debate session involving deputy president candidates, it is no longer about pointing out problems and complaints, but to actually convince us with a proper framework to tackle the problems thoroughly. My question is, what is the exact framework you at least have in mind to solve the problems mentioned earlier, and how to make sure that your jurisdiction is not clashing with other officers under IIMSU? Thank you. And for Brother Iman, considering that you have the experience in IMSU under the Office of Welfare, it is time to discuss deeper into the solid and sustainable solutions for the betterment of the union. Well, I have interest in your manifesto about empowering students under entrepreneurship. And my question is that, what are your plans to ensure if your plan about entrepreneurship is going wrong? Because you talk about manifesto, we couldn't think about the good side of it. We need to actually have plans to cater if your manifesto is actually failing. So what are your plans to actually cater if it goes wrong? Is it clear? Just one for the state empowerment under entrepreneurship. Right, I think that's my question. Thank you.
Right, thank you, brother. So, pass to Brother Ahmad first to answer this question.
Yes. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, brother, for the question. Regarding the proper framework and how I will make sure that it not clash with the other officers' job scope. First, if we look about the manifesto, first manifesto I mentioned before, uh, actually in general, all these three manifesto, I would like to give a benefit for the students. And the task force is where the basis of this what we call framework is on. If, for example, if we got problem about the Islamization in our campus, first thing, the data unit, which means the data, or we call the staff, is my officer, which means that the officer of the student union itself. And then, if they got the problems about Islamization, then we discuss together about how we could address the problems. Second, the research unit. If the research unit will categorize the problem, for example, Islamization, and it is about free mixing in the cafes punya mahala. So we will go for the respective department on we could address the issue. And then the other unit is like more on execution. The Islamization is the one who will take charge in this to implement the Islamization. For example, the free mixing just mentioned before, they will they should emphasize more on IDC and ask the cooperation by the all DBS to be more active in doing the Amar Nahi Munkar. So it's not gonna be a clash with the any officers, and that is my answer. Thank you.
Right. I don't think my brother is going to answer this question.
May I answer the first part of this question? Okay, so yes, I understand if this initiative or this thing, this entrepreneurship thing has been done before. For your information, those the previous versions with that we did not provide them any sorts of training whatsoever. So my plan, or based on my offer, is that we're going to provide them training. We are going to provide them incentives. We are going to provide them whatever they need to sustain their businesses. For your information, this is based on the success of EDC. Okay, we have an office in it's called EDC. They have success stories of helping out student entrepreneurs where their businesses have gone far. And this is also based on the track record of IPR, based on the government programs and initiatives. For your information, IIUM Student Union is in the middle of applying for a grant from the Entrepreneurship Ministry. We also have, from the Ministry of Higher Education, they also have a cooperasi, okay? And if you are aware, the card siswa that you have is from RHB, right? They are more than willing to help us provide grant to help these student entrepreneurs to grow their businesses.
Alright, thank you, Brother. So just a reminder, one minute for each question and 3 minutes for attendees to answer the question. Okay, next question from our brother.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amin. I'm doing my PhD currently, and I was involved with the student union for the past two tenures as well. Um, my question to Brother Amar, you spoke about, in your manifesto, you spoke about uh, collaborating and having a lot of meetings with MRC and KBS and a lot of people like that, right? So you are aware of how they are being recruited, right? How they are being recruited by the UIA authority. They are screened and uh, selected through a lot of process, and then they are recruited. And they cannot take any decisions against the UIA authority. And based on my experience from the last two tenures,
30 seconds.
okay, based on the experience from my last 13 years, we had a lot of meetings with them, but they could not come up with any favor for the students either ways. They had to listen to the authority. How are you going to deal with that? That's for you. For Iman, I had a similar question as the brother who asked you the question previously. If I have to add to that question, are you looking forward to um, mending those food carts that are in the student mall? That's it. Thanks.
Rahman, may I ask the question? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, brother, for the question. So basically, we know that the FCC and KBSC, they have limited voice in to voice out about their concern or their concern with the administration. So how I'm going to do this? Firstly, if there is any concern raised by them that is not capable for them to do, then student union will take action. The student will take place on, to raise the problems to the administration. Secondly, we will cooperation with them for address the problem so that they will not be alone in this journey because MRCC and KBSC, we should treat them as our collaborator. So that is uh, we should not let them behind. So that's my answer. Thank you.
Inilah tugas Ukraina to answer this question. Right, Brother Amin, to answer your question, yes, of course, we would like to look into the food cards at Sweden Mall. The reason why they did not work out well from the past 10 years is that they were not given the right training, they were not given the right incentives, and they were not given the funds. As I said, we are in the midst of applying for a grant from the Ministry of Entrepreneurship. We are in the process of um, working out together with RHP to provide us with grants. And with these grants, we will give them as incentives to students so that they can sustain their businesses. And this will, inshallah, will sustain the food carts anywhere if you even if you want to place it at the midst or something. I'm pretty sure it will live. It will be sustainable. But yes, my plan was, as I said before, we're going to provide them with everything these student entrepreneurs need before they can do their businesses.
Thank you very much. I would like to pass to our sister there. My left side.
Yes. Okay. I want to ask this question to Brother Imam. As you know that we already have apps which is named Leave Me apps in problematic and it crashed frequently, has expensive spare and finding drivers is difficult. Do you guys agree with it? Okay. The previous cellular service the one more familiar is no longer usable due to legal concern because notice from JPJ to disable the group and the decline in available drivers. So, what is your step to cater this issue, the welfare of students in terms of transportation? Thank you.
Yeah, that's the question.
To answer the question from the sister, for your information, Livme is actually very new. It's less than a few months new, and it's still in its probation period. Actually, it's still in trial and error. So yes, we will expect Livme to have some sorts of you know pros and cons, but in terms of student welfare, yeah, for information, why the Telegram owners shut down their Telegram app, Telegram channel is because these students are always getting fined or compounded by JPJ. So one way or another, we are actually trying to help them through Leave Me, where they will get their license or permits to drive as e-hailers legally. So do give Leave Me a chance to work out while we sort out students
while we help these students to legalize their transportation businesses and whatnot. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. You can have a question from brother. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today I'm representing Iium PS. Okay, my name is Ahmad. Okay, so basically we have ongoing partnership with several mental health club institutions in Ireland. It's called mental health, and right now we have MIDA partnership with Ireland PS, which is support group under CCAC. So I want to know from both of you, okay, if you are going to be elected, how you see about this MIDA partnership can be improvised and the plan and the vision of this to cater the mental health issue among the Ireland students. Okay. Right, thank you, brother, for the question. And unfortunately, I have to inform that this will be the last question for today's session. All right, it's being at 9:50, right? So, both of you, yeah, very much.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, brother, from this. And also thank you for mentioning one of my initiatives. So the MINDA partnership is actually a long-term planning, and it is quite new and still new actually, because looking at the fact that this partnership was made towards the end of the tenure. So it is still in planning, and we are still looking for ways on how we can expand and improve this partnership. So this partnership is basically where we gather all societies and clubs in this university that is concerned with mental health, where we will work together with the Office of Welfare of SU. We will look into how we can collaborate on programs or projects that can benefit students in terms of mental health on a wider range and wider scale. One of it in the works is the mental health grant awareness campaign, right? And for your information, at the end of this month, we have a program in collaboration with peers, right? So looking forward as deputy, I will definitely oversee this myself with the assistance of the Office of Welfare, obviously, on how to actually expand this project, this partnership of ours, on how we can work closely together. That's why one of my manifestos is to gather student bodies. It's not just about MRCC or KBSC, but also other clubs and societies that have their own niche. And one of it is mental health. When we work closely together, a lot of things can be achieved. And I would like to send my appreciation to peers for actually agreeing to be part of this journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. So, regarding the partnership, your question, if I'm elected as deputy president, for sure, we will have more collaboration with the programs so that we will show willingness to work together. We share knowledge and leverage our strengths to achieve common goals. For sure, we will prioritize the open communication and about the mental health is a really big issue, and it is supposedly we should address the mental health issue. So, student union should be we are looking forward to having a collaboration to address the issue of mental health in the area because the mental health issue amongst the students, specifically the students, are very concerning, and yeah, that's why anything is benefit for the student. We should be looking forward for this solution. Inshallah. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for my brother Iman for our first session and community models. A round of applause for both candidates. Alright, as we are nearing the end of the event, we would like to open the floor for each candidate for 3 minutes of closing remarks. Therefore, I would like to invite Brother Iman for the first remarks.
When I say Djibouti, you say Iman. You say Iman. You say Iman. Iman for Djibouti. Iman for Djibouti.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. So, dear brothers and sisters, as I've shared throughout this debate session tonight, the issues that this union faces, the lack of trust, the lack of proper democracy, the lack of cohesive action and collective effort. As you have listened to my manifesto in my office, These are the things that will be my priority. These are the things that we will fight for throughout my tenure as Deputy President. If I may reiterate my vision, this union is ours. This union belongs to every single student, regardless of your political background, regardless of your society or club, regardless if you're an undergraduate or a postgrad. This union, especially of Gombak, will have a clear direction. We will set the tone, we will set how we would like to approach the management, the students, on our issues that we face here in Gombak. This Gombak locality should be clear that it will be a symbol of strength, it will be a symbol of unity, and it should live up to its name as a union. As I said, in my tenure as Deputy President 1, inshallah, Iium Student Union Gopa will be fierce. We've faced a lot of challenges throughout the past tenures and the past. And that is something that we have to look into together, and that is something that we have to change. We will restore this union back to its fundamental objectives as a fighting force, as a pressure group, as a union that fights and defends the rights of all students, regardless of your background. Should I be elected, we will put the students' rights and students' interests first. That is our tool, and we will utilize it as much as we can. But we need the support from all of you to be part of this union. I am openly inviting all of you to be together with this union of ours. So I think that's all from me.
Hidup, hidup. Mahasiswa. Hidup, hidup. Mahasiswa.
Thank you.
When I say Muslim, you say Iman. You say Iman. You say Iman. Iman from Deputy. Iman from Deputy.
Thank you, Brother Iman. Next, Brother Amma for his closing remarks for 3 minutes.
Ama, ama, hafize. Ama, ama, hafize. Ibu, ama, sote pote. Ama, pote.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. I'm Amma Hafizi. I serve for everyone. So, my closing remark is simple. I recant my manifesto. I offering to you guys three manifesto. All of this manifesto in general is to benefit for you guys. It's not for the sake of my position or any my about myself, but it's all for you guys, all for the students. I provide to you a platform that will collect your opinion, a platform that will collect all of the problems raised by you guys, and provide with you a task force that is ready to take any actions regarding any problems, any concern raised by you guys. And I offer to you guys ways to make sure that our union will be more progressive in the future. And also, I will ensure that we will strengthen the relationship with all IIM entities, and we will ensure that the union will spread our wings to, to the betterment of the student union itself and to the betterment of the IIM student union. Last from me, if you guys vote for solutions, then you guys vote for me. I'm Amar Fizi, candidate G002. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Alright, thank you, Brother Amma, for his closing remarks. So, by the closing remarks session, this marks our end of our debate today. Finally, a big round of applause for our both candidates for Deputy President 1 IUMSU debate tonight. Alright, so may this debate be a guide for all of you for our polling day tomorrow, our election day tomorrow, 7 May of 2024. I hope all of our students can cast your vote tomorrow. Alright, so I think I would like to apologize for any shortcomings from me. Then, wabillahi